Welcome back to the world of criminal investigations. Mysteries can often unravel in the most unexpected ways. As we delve into the case of Suzanne's untimely demise, we find ourselves embarking on a journey filled with unanswered questions and hidden truths. The video serves as an introduction to the perplexing events surrounding Suzanne's death and the subsequent police investigation that followed. At first glance, Suzanne appeared to be living a picture-perfect life. Married to her loving husband Barry for over a decade, they resided in a quiet suburban neighborhood, seemingly happy and content. However, what appeared to be an idyllic existence soon unraveled when tragedy struck abruptly, shrouding their peaceful community in a cloud of uncertainty. The police investigation began in earnest as detectives sought to uncover the truth buried beneath the surface of Suzanne's tragic end. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation has reported the discovery of the remains of Suzanne Morphew, a mother from Colorado, more than 3 years after her disappearance on May 10, 2020. According to the department, the El Paso County coroner conclusively identified the remains as those of Morphew of Chaffee County on September 27, 2023, after discovering them during a search on September 22, 2023. Suzanne Morphew was born to Adrian Alexandria and Jean on April 11, 1971. She had 2 brothers, Andrew and David, and grew up with them. Suzanne was a vibrant and caring woman known for her infectious laughter and kind heart. Her magnetic personality drew people towards her, making her the life of any social gathering. Friends and family often described Suzanne as the epitome of grace and beauty, with a warmth that radiated from her very being. Her love for life was evident in her pursuit of various hobbies, such as painting and gardening. Suzanne and Barry Morphew met in high school in their hometown of Alexandria, Indiana in 1998. Barry would later become Suzanne's husband. After dating for 6 years, they got married. While Suzanne pursued a degree in education at Purdue University, the Toronto Blue Jays signed Barry, a remarkable baseball player. Barry started a new career in horticulture after suffering a terrible accident. Barry launched a landscaping company while Suzanne worked as a teacher until she and their kids, Mallory and Macy, needed more time to focus on raising them. According to her friends, the Morphew family relocated from Indiana to a residence near Salida, Colorado, to be nearer to their elder daughter Mallory, who was enrolled in a nearby college. However, there were also whispers that Suzanne and Barry's problematic marriage was trying for a new beginning with their move. Despite her charm and seemingly perfect life, Suzanne's story took a tragic turn when she mysteriously vanished one unfateful day. This sudden disappearance left her loved ones in a state of shock and bewilderment as they struggled to comprehend what had happened to the woman they adored. The disappearance of Suzanne Morphew on Mother's Day added an unexpected twist to her story. Early in the morning on May 10, 2020, Barry left his home just outside Salida, Colorado, to drive to a job site 150 miles away in Broomfield, Colorado. The couple's daughters were away on a camping trip, leaving the couple alone at home. They were supposed to return before evening to spend Mother's Day with their mother. The girls had planned on going back home that evening to celebrate Mother's Day with Suzanne. However, the event did not occur as planned. The girls sent a message to their mother, wishing her a happy Mother's Day. She does not respond. After a few hours, no reply. Mallory let her dad know that they can't get through to Suzanne. Eventually, Barry asked one of their neighbors to check if Suzanne was okay and whether her mountain bike was at the house. Barry requested them to contact the police when they came across no evidence of her or her bike. Barry decided not to go home right after and instead gave his co-workers a shovel and some other items at a motel where he had reserved rooms for both of them. A few minutes after 6 p.m., he started heading home. The finding of Suzanne Morphew's mountain bike by the sheriff's deputies furthers the investigation into her abduction. Sheriff's deputies discovered the bike on the edge of a cliff near the family house in the police body camera footage. Surprisingly, the area yielded no blood, clothing, or traces of a struggle. But Suzanne's helmet lies off the side of Highway 50, nearly a mile away. The hydration packs and sunglasses are also inside the car. Investigators consider the possibility that the scene was fabricated in this strange scenario. The absence of critical biking gear near the bike, as well as the relocation of belongings, raises questions about whether Suzanne went for a bike ride on Mother's Day morning, complicating the continuing investigation into her abduction. Investigators removed Suzanne Morphew's bike off the cliff. Suzanne had only recently started mountain biking. Investigators discovered her helmet in a different place than her bike. The whole scenario seemed as planned, as if someone had thrown the bike at that point and her hamlet at a different location, all intentionally. A scuba diver investigates a nearby river as news of Suzanne Morphew's abduction spreads throughout the town and eventually the country. Local and state police, the FBI, CBI, and civilian volunteers launched a massive search effort across vast and harsh territory. Suzanne's body has yet to be located, and authorities believe she died. A vertical fissure runs the length of the couple's master bedroom door frame.
Please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back. We love you, we miss you, your girls need you.
Investigators showed Barry Morphew a photograph of the broken door frame, which the previous owners claimed was not there when they sold the house to him. People speculated whether Barry had been locked out or if it resulted from an argument. He commented, "I have no idea what that's from." Barry may have smashed the door in his pursuit of Suzanne after tranquilizers shot her, according to investigators. The investigation into Barry took an unexpected turn when detectives discovered evidence pointing to Barry as the primary suspect in Suzanne's disappearance.
There was a mountain lion. The officer seen it walk by the car, so we thought maybe she got attacked by a lion.
Another piece of evidence the investigators had was Suzanne's mobile phone. It has all the text messages with her husband, speaking much of the part of the investigation. They also discovered a note Suzanne had written 2 days before her death. It mentioned how bad her marriage had been and how much physical abuse she bore from her husband. Text messages revealing marital strife and testimonies from close friends suggesting a deteriorating relationship with Suzanne added to the mounting suspicion. As the investigation progressed, investigators started to suspect that Barry might have resorted to extreme measures. However, the subsequent legal proceedings would soon scrutinize the true nature of the evidence and its weight in the case. According to Barry Morphew's cell phone records, his phone started ringing all over the house on May 9th. Barry explained to investigators that he was chasing after chipmunks, which he described as an annoyance all the time when they asked him about the strange phone behavior. But after shooting Suzanne with the tranquilizer pistol, police think this strange phone activity could be her being chased around the home by Barry. Some of the ping locations from Barry's cell phone may be seen in the satellite image of the Morphew residence. Suspicions about Barry Morphew's behavior grew as the investigation progressed, casting doubt on the romantic meal he claimed to have eaten with Suzanne. He claimed to have set his phone to airplane mode until 10:17 p.m. One of the inconsistencies is the discovery of a single dirty dish rather than two. Questions remain unanswered as authorities continue to probe the Morphew home. The automobile Barry was driving went 96 feet backward from the driveway around 9:30 p.m., 1 hour after he said he had gone to sleep. When he allegedly carried Suzanne's body onto his truck, it is when investigators believed he did it. There may have been undisclosed actions, as the records show the truck's door opening and closing more than 80 times. The inquiry into Suzanne Morphew's disappearance becomes more complicated, as this circumstantial evidence raised doubts about any arrest. Barry Morphew was the final step in the inquiry that continued almost a year after Suzanne went missing. In May 2021, he was faced with first-degree murder, tampering with physical evidence, and other counts even though Suzanne's body was not present. The following is the prosecutor's version of events as stated in the arrest affidavit. It had become clear that Barry could not control Suzanne's insistence on leaving him, and he resorted to something he has done his entire life, hunt and control Suzanne like he had hunted and controlled animals. To establish guilt for Suzanne Morphew's husband, the accusations depicted a bleak timeline of events leading up to her abduction. On May 10th, the same day Suzanne Morphew was reported missing, Barry Morphew disposed of trash at various sites throughout Broomfield, Colorado, while working. It depicted Barry disposing of waste in a dumpster, as captured by the McDonald's cameras. Barry admitted to investigators that he frequently disposed of the trash in easily accessible containers to evade paying for its disposal at a landfill. However, Barry was allegedly trying to dispose of evidence, according to investigators. Another piece of evidence is that the hotel room where Barry was staying had a strong chlorine and bleach odor, as confirmed by a co-worker who went to the room the day after Suzanne vanished. The investigators claim that Barry changed his clothes multiple times during the day. Despite the evident harm that Barry's actions caused, investigators were still attempting to piece together what happened to Suzanne Morphew and his motivations. The inquiry was further probed as several text messages exchanged between Suzanne Morphew and a trusted acquaintance surfaced, illuminating the marital strife that preceded Suzanne's abduction. "I feel no peace when he's here, and I would not feel safe alone with him." She was also worried about his drinking, repeated attempts to seize her phone, and even speculation. Suzanne had written these things on her phone to describe how she felt about her husband, Barry, sharing her pain and worries. After Suzanne texted her buddy on March 25, 2020, she found out that Barry was reluctant to talk about getting a divorce. To Barry, Suzanne wrote, "I'm done," days before she vanished on May 6, 2020. Insightful into the tumultuous nature of Morphew's relationship, these communications offer another complex dimension to the continuing investigation. 10 days after Suzanne Morphew went missing, authorities recovered this spy pen in a walk-in closet in her master bedroom. Suzanne obtained the voice-activated pen that records conversations to catch her husband Barry having an affair. Instead, she mistakenly recorded conversations with her secret partner. It took the investigators 6 months to identify the person who was there with Suzanne in those recordings. Suzanne was in a love affair with that guy. Investigators discovered he had a wife and 6 children in Michigan, where he resided. He never came out on his own after Suzanne disappeared, and he took steps to conceal their relationship. However, when officials came, he cooperated by providing access to his DNA, phone records, and passwords to deleted accounts. Investigators were able to corroborate his alibi, and he was cleared. Her boyfriend's name was Jeff, who went to high school with the affairs and had allegedly gone on for 1.5 years, starting around 2018. Records reveal that Suzanne Morphew and her boyfriend messaged one another 59 times on May 9th, the day before Mother's Day, just before detectives believe Barry Morphew killed his wife. Suzanne once sent a selfie to her partner, which detectives called her final proof of life picture. At 2:26 p.m., while doing errands, Barry texted Suzanne to let her know he was heading home. Barry texted Suzanne again, asking, "Did you leave?" but got no response this time. Investigators surmise that shortly after killing Suzanne and tidying up the scene, Barry went back home. However, what would be Barry's motivation for killing Suzanne if he was unaware of her extramarital affair? Investigators may have discovered a deleted text message that Suzanne had sent a few days prior on Barry's phone. "I've finished. I have no interest in what you are doing and have not for years. All we have to do is resolve this amicably." The inquiry took a pivotal turn when prosecutors highlighted the discovery of a see-through plastic needle cap in the dryer of the Morphew family. Claiming that Barry Morphew injured Suzanne on May 9th with a Tranquilizer dart, they emphasized its importance. The couple's home, however, did not yield any drugs or a functional tranquilizer gun. Barry denied knowing the cap was in the dryer, but he did confess to being an expert with tranquilizer dart rifles for making deer sleep. In his defense, he pointed out that neither Barry's nor the cap's drying time in the dryer is known. The ongoing inquiry centered on this needle cap, which had become a sensitive topic due to its origin and importance in Suzanne Morphew's disappearance.
Which include the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and of course the 11th Judicial District Attorney.
Arresting Barry Morphew was the final step in the inquiry that began almost a year after Suzanne went missing. He was faced with first-degree murder, tampering with physical evidence, and other counts even though Suzanne's body was not present.
The affidavit is sealed at this time. I cannot and will not discuss it. Fourth, all media inquiries from this date forward should...
The following is the prosecutor's version of events as stated in the arrest affidavit. It had become clear that Barry could not control Suzanne's insistence on leaving him, and he resorted to something he has done his entire life: hunt and control Suzanne like he had hunted and controlled animals. To establish guilt for Suzanne Morphew's husband, the accusations depicted a bleak timeline of events leading up to her abduction. When unexplained male DNA is found in Suzanne Morphew's Range Rover, the investigation takes an intricate turn. DNA testing in October 2020 connected at least a partial match to an unidentified guy involved in 3 unresolved allegations of sexual assault in Tempe, Phoenix, and Chicago. The legal team representing Barry Morphew intends to bring a civil complaint, claiming that the prosecution concealed certain DNA evidence that would have cleared him until after Barry's preliminary hearing in August 2021, when it was decided that the case was solid enough to go to trial. 14 expert witnesses are excluded due to Barry's defense team's successful push for harsh penalties against the prosecution. It is clear to this court that there is a pattern of discovery violations in this case attributable to the people. Their actions amount to negligent and arguably reckless disregard, the judge said, criticizing the prosecution for repeated discovery violations. Prosecutors contend that there had been no intentional misconduct, yet the penalties imposed substantially affect the case and cast doubt on how the legal process will progress. On September 20th, 2021, the authorities decided to free Barry with a fine of $30,000. But they kept it a secret that they found another DNA on Suzanne's belongings from that day, and that none of the DNA results matched Barry. To their surprise, the DNA results appeared to match the other 3 cases already under investigation around that area. Barry Morphew's daughters accompanied him as he was freed from jail on bond after he entered a not guilty plea to all allegations. Despite the seriousness of the charges against him, his daughters have remained steadfast in their support, never missing a court appearance, even in December 2021. Developments in the case are keeping the family linked while court proceedings go on. The case remained a question until the investigators found the remains of Suzanne's body 3 years after her death. The investigators confirmed that the body belonged to Suzanne, following her dental records. The shocking part was that the discovery was made 50 miles away from the projected investigation area, which was the mountain surrounding Barry's property. Nor Barry is again under the questions of many people. Is he the actual killer? Or is there someone else who faked the murder of Barry to escape his fate? The investigation is still going on. As we close the chapter on Suzanne Morphew's inexplicable disappearance, the echoes of this heartbreaking case linger. The search for truth, the twists of betrayal, and the pursuit of justice paint a complex narrative that leaves us with more questions than answers. Suzanne's story remains etched in the collective heart of a community, a tale of unimaginable loss and the resilience to seek the truth. After enduring this unimaginable betrayal, may Suzanne find peace, and may the veil of her mysterious disappearance one day be lifted. If you find this video interesting, do like it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.